Hey everyone, I'm Tara Luse with the Luse Home Team and the King Real Estate Group. Today we are interviewing a real estate professional, and this today is Sharlene Biggs with Stewart Title. She's an escrow officer and manager here at Stewart Title, Midwest City. So we're going to start with having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
As you said, I'm an escrow officer at Stewart Title, Midwest City. I'm also known as a moo-moo, not a grandma, a moo-moo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom, of course, to two. My son is in the Navy. Now he's out. And then both my kids live in Kansas.
Nice. So you're a moo-moo to how many?
I'm 4, and our 5th one is due anytime.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So number 5 will be here any day now, sounds
Yes.
like. Okay. So how long, well, we'll start here. What was your background or profession before you began working in real estate?
This one will really get you. I was an in-home daycare provider.
Wow. So you had your own daycare?
I had my own in-home daycare, and I kept up to 10 kids at a time.
So I think that kind of leads into, you work well with, you have lots of patience, maybe. If you have your own in-home daycare, you have to have lots of patience.
Yes.
So that's good, because sometimes this profession can be quite taxing and stressing, I suggest, or I guess.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
It can be.
Okay. So what made you decide to come into this profession as a title worker or escrow officer?
I actually moved back to Oklahoma from Kansas in 2012, and I needed a job, of course. So I went to a temp service.
Uh-huh.
And they put me at an office job, and it happened to be at Old Republic Title. I had never knew anything about abstracting title or anything, so I started from the ground up.
Wow. Okay. So, and what year was that?
2012.
2012. Okay. So you've done this for a while.
Yes.
Okay. What type of training or schooling is necessary to become a closer?
Well, of course, you have to have your GED or high school diploma, but it's really good to have math behind you, a lot of math, and then a lot of training with a experienced escrow officer to learn how to do the math on the prorations of taxes and all that other stuff.
So when we say escrow officer, what exactly is that? Because you say you need lots of experience with an experienced escrow officer. What's escrow? What's an escrow officer?
Basically, we maintain all the money. So we take your money in, and then we make sure it gets to all parties and make sure all stuff is cleaned out of that file.
Okay. Okie dokie. How many years did we say? 2012 to now is, you're the math person. How many years have we been doing this? So 12.
14. What is that?
What is it, Matt? Yeah. Okay.
12, 24. Yeah.
Okay. So here's a good one. How many closings have you done in your career?
I have totally lost count, but I guarantee you it's over 300.
Wow. That's a lot.
It is.
So let's see. How long does the typical closing take?
Well, it depends on if you have readers, first-time home buyers, or cash. Cash can take as little as 20 minutes to 30, maybe 45, depending. And then if there's a lender, depending on how big the lender packet is, and of course, if the person wants to read it, but it can take about an hour at the most.
Okay. So do most first-time home buyers read the entire packet?
Believe it or not, I've been lucky enough. No. I go over the most important documents, give them a very short version of what's in it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's very important to know, that when you choose your escrow officer, that there's someone that they're very good at explaining, and it kind of takes that whole reading word for word out of it.
Yes.
and you're trusting that escrow officer to educate you on what you are signing. So that's great. Okay. So we said it does vary. Then the length of time does vary from cash to loan type.
Yes.
So is there a loan type, say if it's not cash and it is loan, Is there a loan type that takes more time than the others, or does it just depend on the lender themselves?
Usually VA and FHA, they have more documents.
Is that because they're more stringent loan type, or
I would say so,
okay?
especially VA.
hmm So, what are some things that can unexpectedly cause delays in a closing?
Oh,
These are the fun ones.
yes. When you get a commitment back and it says that there needs to be a probate or quiet title because somebody's interest was not taken out.
Okay, so let's explain that to the listeners who may have no idea what that means. So, when you commitment, what is a commitment?
It basically, we update abstracts because we're an abstract state. We update the abstract, pull any and all liens that are on the property. And of course, a title company like Stewart has to clear them before you get clear and marketable title.
Okay, because you don't want to purchase a home that has a lien.
You do not want to do a quit claim deed from, like, let's say I quit claim deeded my house to you, and I still have a
family
mortgage.
members, lots of family members
Yes.
say, we're not going to go through the whole process. We're just going to go to the title company or to the county courthouse and we're just going to deed it over. Why is that not a great idea?
Because anything that's on that property, you inherit. Just
Right.
like if you buy a property from a tax lien,
or sheriff sale.
Well, sheriff sales are a little bit different because, like HUD, they actually get the person's interest out. Now, a tax sale does not, which just means you got the deed on a tax sale deed.
Okay.
Which means you're better off just quiet titling that right away to get the person's interest out.
Okay. So I know a lot of buyers will go to the sheriff's sale. So I wanted to throw that in there too. Okay, so what would you tell our viewers the main purpose of doing a title inspection is? We just hit on that.
Title commitment?
Or title insurance even. Like tell us the importance of, we just talked about title inspection. Why is it important to do title inspection? We can see if we have a clean title or if there are liens. And then your job then is to, with Stewart Title, is that you have to clear those liens before we can go on with the process. So that, like you said, often causes delays. Yes. So let's talk about title insurance. So it's on our Oklahoma real estate contracts that we can choose title insurance. Why or why not?
I would say title insurance is a good thing because, again, we clear all liens and it protects you from someone coming in and sticking a lien on it saying they have interest in it when they don't. And right now, all that stuff going on about can my deed be taken? That's where title insurance comes in because you have title insurance that protects you.
Okay. So in your opinion, absolutely. We need title insurance. Okay. So we talked about this too a little bit. Each state's different. Some require title search, some don't. So some states only require an attorney's opinion. So what would the difference be between a title inspection and an attorney's opinion?
Exactly what it says, an attorney's opinion. They don't clear any liens. They just give you their opinion on what could be on that property, like prior mortgages, maybe who's in title, and they could miss a deed, unlike abstracting. Abstracting 99% of the time does not miss any deeds.
Okay. So it's definitely, Oklahoma, it's definitely in our favor then to have that type. We're getting a phone call. It's okay. So our state, I feel like, and see if you think I'm on the right track with this too, but I feel like Oklahoma is a title inspection state. So it's
an abstract state.
So it is it's in our best interest.
Yes.
Okay. What about this one? What benefit does a home buyer receive when purchasing title insurance? So what happens so let's just say this. This happened to me before I was in the real estate industry. I was still a teacher and I purchased my first home outside of marriage on my own. My second home, I'm sorry. And oh gosh, probably 2 years after, I received a letter from an attorney stating that I owed, I don't know, $12,000. And what? So I took it to my realtor at the time. My realtor said, "Oh, you have title insurance.
Mhm.
Let's look at your current your contract and let's see who your title insurance was through." And so we sent all of the information to our title company at that time. And yeah, it was missed. So that particular lien was missed,
Mhm.
and thankfully, I did not have to fork over $10,000,
That's
$12,000.
that's what title insurance is.
Yes. So that's whenever we have clients that say, "Oh, I don't want to pay that extra for title insurance," I always say, let's talk about this. And I
Yes.
give them my story,
Mhm.
where I would have had to pay $12,000
Yeah.
out of my own pocket if I did not have that title insurance. So you say yes, title insurance is very important.
I say yes, absolutely. Even if you're buying it from family,
Mm-hmm.
which that's where a lot of the incorrect deeds get filed, where you don't deed out properly with marital status. And then we have to come back as a title company and correct those deeds.
I see. So even with new builds, do we need title insurance with new builds?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There can be builder liens on it from not paying their materials.
Think about that, guys. Okay. Let's see. We talked about this. What are the things that you look for when you do a title search? We talked about that. We talked about all that already. What is your number one piece of advice that you would give to buyers or sellers? And you can give advice to just buyers and then do something else for sellers if you wish. But what's your number one advice?
Please use a real estate agent.
Yeah. Why? Why is that important?
Because I am not a real estate agent. I cannot and will not answer your real estate questions. And that is what they're there for. They know what they're doing and they can direct you to the right direction.
Okay. I like that. So on buyers and sellers?
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
So how often do you get phone calls, just Sharlene Biggs, do a title? How many times do you answer that phone and it's someone saying, "Hey, I want to buy this property"?
Mhm.
Or how many times do you say, "Hey, I'm selling my home for sale by owner. Would you help me with this? I have someone who wants to purchase this and they don't have a realtor. What do you do?"
Well, first off, I ask them if they do have one. If not, I say, well, you really need one. But I do have a for sale by owner
Mhm.
packet that somewhat explains it, but has the most current real estate contract for them. And all I do is email it to them, and then they are basically on their own to
Oh
find
wow.
out the information.
That would be very daunting. That would be a daunting task because those real estate contracts
Yes.
they're lawful. They are,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Which is why I say use a real estate agent, because I am not one.
right,
I
right.
cannot answer those questions.
Kind of like with us as realtors, we have a lot of questions from buyers and sellers in terms of legal, you know,
Mhm.
and we answer those questions in terms of what real estate knowledge is. But when it comes to attorney questions,
Yes.
we stay in our lane. We are not attorneys. I'm not a title escrow officer, although we do answer questions in
Uh-huh.
regards to those things. But so kind of like you said, I use the term "stay in your lane."
Yep.
I'm not an attorney,
Nope.
and I do
I am
not
not either.
want. Yeah.
I
So
stay in my lane as an
yeah.
escrow officer, and I can answer the questions on lender docs and our docs, but
Uh-huh.
I will not answer anything on the real estate contract.
Yep. Okay. So if any of our viewers have questions concerning title work, or if they would like to use you to close, is there a number that you can be reached or an email?
Well, Stewart Title's Midwest City office number is, of course, 405 733 4603. And I would love to answer any questions if you have any.
Perfect. What about anything else? Anything else that you would like to add to um, any information, any last minute thoughts that you would like to add to our viewers?
I just say use a real estate agent. They know what they're doing. That's why they're there. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.